Hi, Farrell. So excited to finally do this after quite a while of working together and then learning so much from you. We have the pleasure of learning about your story, your advocacy, your work for financial sustainability in parks and recreation, and I wanted to start with learning more about why. We're talking about the purpose. Like, why did you transition from, I know you worked in local government for years. Why did you make the transition from that into, being a consultant, an influencer, an advocate for such an important thing as financial sustainability?
Sure. So each of the positions that I've taken over the last 25 years, I did them for a reason. So I switched positions, switched organizations, switched titles, right? For a couple of reasons. And one was to the ability to influence the direction of what was happening. So when I was a recreation coordinator, I was able to influence what people thought about individuals with disabilities. And then I moved to a community that was very low income. English was a second language for most people as a supervisor. And I was able to influence, right, and create change around how people were accepting of the people in those communities and how we were going to treat them and how they were going to get to play, right, in the parks and recreation that we were developing. So I think of each of those changes, and there was a significant reason to have a greater influence, to impact change, to create better communities in places and spaces. And specifically to this role, people that know me know I love local government. Like, I'm a local government geek. I believe in it. I think it has such an opportunity for awesome impact for the people at the frontline level. And so having the opportunity to make this transition from inside of local government to beside local government, again, I think gives me the greatest opportunity in those I serve now to create better lives for their communities, to have more influence in the systems and the delivery, all resulting back to the people in their communities, that they want to have a happy, healthy life and enjoy and participate however they deem refuels them.
I love it. Local government geek. That's how I should have introduced you. You'll be the first local government geek that I ever met. I love that. So why do you want to work specifically with Parks and Rec agencies? Because with your experience, you can influence and impact in so many different areas, and really help people grow and do things differently and wisely. Why Parks and Rec?
Sure. So a couple of things come to mind, and the first is, one of my values is inclusivity. And I think in Parks and Recreation, it's one place inside of local government where everybody can be easily welcomed every day. It doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter what you like to do, it doesn't matter your family structure. So that is a phenomenal place to get to live that value every day. I think the other thing, when you ask people, if I asked you, what was your favorite memory from last year? It likely didn't happen inside this building, right? It was something about a memory, an experience, the people you were with. So in Parks and Recreation, that's what we're doing. We're helping people create their memories that they'll have forever.
Wow, I love that.
Right?
Yeah, I never saw that like that. That's powerful.
You're going to talk about something that you did that was likely Parks and Recreation based forever.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Okay. So why you made a switch into, advocacy as a consultant, and why 110%?
A couple of things. One is that idea that I think you should be comfortable surrounding yourself with people that are much smarter than you in any room. So when I think of 110%, I'm fortunate to have known Jamie Sabak, who started 110% since way before she started it, right? So I met Jamie in about 2004. I was a recreation coordinator, and she was just brought on as our recreation superintendent. So I've had the opportunity to learn from her and watch her grow and watch who she became. And when I had the opportunity to join 110%, I realized a couple of things. One, my reputation and the brand that I would now wear was really important. Like, what am I actually supporting and standing for? And Jamie at the time, when she was independent, right, and working independently, she already had the ethics that I believed in. She had a lot of the same values and principles, wicked smart in this field. And I believed in what she was doing. She was giving every Parks and Recreation organization the opportunity to continue to take care of their infrastructure, their people, their staff, their communities. So when you love Parks and Recreation and you believe in what somebody's doing, you're welcome to wear that brand. The other thing that's been really interesting is I've been able to follow her path and this path towards Amilia. And when I look at those two entities together, the strength that it creates is unmatched. Can I talk about what Amilia does? You guys good at that? So here's why. So tell me. I say unmatched.
Tell me about the marriage between 110% and Amilia, and why they complement each other.
So here's why they complement each other. So, right, I've studied 110%. I've been able to also study Amilia since about 2017, 2018. Actually, before they were working together, I got a call from your CEO asking me what I thought of Jamie Sabak. That's pretty cool. Who does that?
That's right? An inside scoop.
That's an inside scoop. So what I realized then is I would start studying, because at the time I was a director of Parks and Recreation. So I started studying really what this Amilia was and what they were doing and how they were operating. You know, they designed a system for us as professionals with our input. I've never had that opportunity. And now what I see from the inside is the commitment to improvements, the commitment to listening, the commitment to culture. It's another place where I get to be around people of all different cultures and backgrounds and expertise. So again, that inclusivity, it's here. And it's another brand that, frankly, I'm proud to wear. I'm, wearing my Amilia socks. So again, it's a brand, that togetherness, 110% supported by Amilia. I would encourage anybody that's curious to dig into it for themselves and see what they find. Yeah.
Wow. I'm speechless. What makes this work so important to you? I understand from everything you're describing how important it is for the organizations, and your purpose and mission to be in a position where you can influence and impact. Mm-hmm. Why is that important to you? Why is this work so important to you?
I think there's two things come to mind. One, we're able to provide a refueling of sorts. I feel like I'm able to provide what people want to be doing when they're not at work. That's really important to me. I like lifting people up. I like helping people feel great about life. There's so many heavy, hard things happening. And any opportunity that I have to be that positive impact, right? The exclamation point, a little bit of sunshine, I feel like I get to do that here. The other thing I think back, I was thinking about one of my earliest memories of Parks and Recreation. And I was about 4 years old. And my mom worked for, at that time, a Parks and Recreation district. I didn't know what that meant because I was 4. But one of my favorite memories is attending a teddy bear picnic. We walked like a bear and we ate honey and we had our teddy bears, and that was Parks and Recreation.
Wow.
I didn't even know that's what that was. Memories, right? Like, I think of when did I start loving this? That's when I started loving this.
Okay. So what's the message you want people to take away from our conversation? This video is going to live forever. No pressure. I mean, I know it's not an easy thing to take away, but if you had to narrow it down, what do you want people to remember from what you're doing? Maybe, I don't want to use the word legacy because we've already used it, but what do you want the takeaway to be? We spoke about a few things.
I hope the people that are in Parks and Recreation or come into this field that are working there, just stay the course. Don't lose yourself in the noise. Remember who you are at the core and live in that. I also want people to know that they don't only have an advocate, they literally have an accomplice. Like if they see something that they want to make something happen, they will always have an accomplice in me when it's for the benefit of their community members. And I also hope that people get into their communities, start loving the life that they're preaching and teaching and giving to others.
So for them to be even more involved with the community, more hands-on.
Yes.
I see that.
Yes.
What do you think we're going to see more of at Parks and Rec agencies in the coming years? Like what are some of the trends for Parks and Rec professionals to continue? Because I know we spoke about this last couple of days, but there are some trends that are happening. What do you see?
Sure. I'm gonna stick with positives today because I know there's heavy, hard stuff, and I'm not dismissing that.
Yeah.
One of the trends that I see that I love, I think this next wave of Parks and Recreation professionals, they're smart. They already want work-life balance. They have great ideas. They're ready to push the envelope on what we've been doing, what's been happening the last 30 years, and I think that's time. I think they're generous, and I think that combination of some people that have longevity, right, and then this fresh eye and spirit, that combination, people that can bring in history and what has been and why it's important and cultures, I think we have an opportunity now more than anything to be shaping that, right, with 4 generations. So I think there's I see that working. I see that happening. I see people being willing to have really tough conversations. The other thing I see is much more of an intentionality to decision making. I'll take recreation programming as my example. We used to just say, if you didn't know, it was like spaghetti, back to spaghetti. Start throwing spaghetti on the wall and we'll just see what sticks.
Yeah.
That was a really common practice when you were going to offer something new to your community.
Yeah.
We have so much data. We have access to our people. We have communication channels we've never had, and people are using them. The professionals are using them and the community members. So intentional decision making on what to provide, on decisions about policies, procedures, focus, prioritizing. It's at a very different level with all the bar opportunities in front of us.
It's something that I've actually heard and seen that you touched on a new generation that's understand everything that's been done and respects it, but also open to new ideas. And I guess I want to finish with this because this is personally dear to me. How do you see the role of technology helping Parks and Rec professionals? Because we know that it hasn't been a focus area, but with new generations coming in that grew up with the understanding that some technology can be used for good. What are your thoughts on that, and what is that going to look like?
So it makes me think of something one of our clients just recently said, and he said, my work with you and this data, this technology, allows me to tell the story that my gut already knows.
Okay.
I think Parks and Recreation people come into the profession because we're people's people, right? Now we need data. We need technology to help us tell the story of the things we already know. That's really exciting. That can speak to anybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Farrell, thank you for taking the time to speak with us. We've learned a lot. I think it's what you're doing is wonderful. The fact that you made such a big shift is so courageous, and very happy to be working with you as well. So thank you for joining us today.